All right, today's episode, I'm going to talk about how you need to get away from home, homeostasis, and how AARs can help you. And I'm also going to tell you how sidetracks and rabbit holes of conversations, that can really help your class. Stay right here. All right, welcome back to the channel. My name is Son French, and on today's episode, and here's the drill, I'm going to be telling you how to teach a class, part 2. All right, just like in the first episode, I had a bunch of tips and tricks for how to teach a class. Whether you're teaching this class out in the field, whether you're teaching this class in a training room, creating slides, or a practical exercise, you can apply these anywhere in any form that you have a class that you're teaching. So here's a couple more. Let's start part 2. All right, for the first one, getting away from your home station. Now, what I mean by home is the podium that you have with your notes and your clipboard and all this stuff on. This is your little security blanket, so they don't feel you and they don't see you. You're nervous. You have to get away from this space. As you're teaching, you need to get into the habit of walking out to your crowd, walking out to your soldiers, walking out to whoever you're teaching and talking with them. Because the more you stay behind this and this little podium and your keyboard, and I'm so safe back here, the more you get out of there, it shows that you're engaged with them, the people you're teaching. Get away from that. Even if you put it in there. I have put it in my notes before when I was just becoming an instructor. It would say on this slide, okay, yeah, there's a star. I need to go walk out and ask a question. Okay, gotcha. Get out there, walk, and get away from the safe station that you're standing at. All right, on to the next one is finding ways for you to integrate yourself into your training. Well, what do I mean by that? Find ways for your class for you to show your experience of what you're teaching. If you don't have any, it's okay. But if you've been deployed and you're teaching a class on deployment, get some photos of yourself deployed. This is where I was. This is what I did. That instills credibility on the class that you're giving and instills credibility on yourself and gets a lot of people to start listening. Take the time to find some photos, some videos of yourself, any way you can interject yourself and your experiences into what you're teaching. Even if it's something as basic as, the last time I taught this ACFT grading stuff, the last time, no soldiers failed, okay? Because we all knew what right looks like. And we knew how to teach them, yeah? Interject your experiences. Oh, whoa. Hit the subscribe button. You're still here? This is part 2, and you're not subscribed? Just hit subscribe. It's going to help me out. It's going to help you out. You should do it. Do it right now. Do it. Next, let natural sidetracks and rabbit hole conversations, let them happen. Just control them. Sometimes in a class, when your soldiers or your people that you're teaching rabbit hole or sidetrack and go off topic, it can be a good thing. Let them get engaged in that. If you're starting to see a conversation happening and they're talking, they're getting them engaged, it's your job to get it steered back towards that conversation. You can get it back there without saying, hey, that's not the time for this guy to stop. We're not talking about that. Don't destroy that motivation that you just got going. Let those conversations go. Get them gassed up a little bit, and then you know what? Bring it full circle and bring it back to what you were talking about and how you arrived there. That conversation is crucial to a great class. Soldier engagement is crucial to a great class. Another great tip for how to teach a class is changing the location. Change it. A lot of companies use the same location, the same training room, the same theater, the same whatever. When you walk into that room, you can just feel it. I know we're going to be in here for another 4 hours. I know it. 1700, easy. You'll get a bad feeling and a bad stigma that comes with that place. The same place, same time. You know where we got to be. We're going to get the same 6 classes, and it's just going to be over at 1700, and we'll do a closeout brief, and we'll be here forever. Change the location. Go to a place that's outside. If you have the ability to bring your class outside, do it. If you have a different place to say, hey, you think I can use your conference room? Hey, you think I can use your big screen and all this stuff and want to change this location a little bit? Change the location. That will get them to start thinking differently, and it'll get you more engaged into your class because they're not in the same. I've been here 20 times. Change the location. And one of the last ones is an AAR, an after action review. What went right? What went wrong? These are really good to do, even though in the Army, we all can't stand them. We got to do the AAR, we got to do this. But for these classroom trainings and something that you're up in front of a class teaching, you should be getting an AAR for all of those. Any kind of training that you're doing in the United States military, you should get an AAR and just apply it to a book and say, hey, you're teaching this class again in 4 months. These are things you shouldn't do. These are things you should do. Do an AAR. Take the time to say, hey, I probably should have updated that slide. Yep, we probably should have did a practical exercise because I taught the class and everybody still failed what they were doing. I probably should have had water. We were outside. We changed the location. Do these things so that we're all getting better. We all make mistakes, but we all need to get better. That's how you get to success. All right, so in today's episode, I gave you a bunch more tips on how to give a class part 2. And I'll tell you what, you keep applying these things to your classes, to your leadership, to your soldiers, to your platoons. This is what's going to separate yourself from your peers. This is what's going to make you a more highly effective NCO and future leader in the United States military. And it's also the drill.